think we're working. Oh, hang on. I need to move. Oh, shit. I need to move you. Over here.
And
okay.
Here.
I think we're live. Oh, hang on. Is this working?
I see us, but I'm kind of out of...
Yes, I adjusted it. Okay.
View.
There's just a lag. Hello, everybody. Huh? Oh, yes. Yeah, there's a lag, so that's what we were just doing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Vegan Yums Live and Remote. Here we are, me and Marley. I hope you can hear us. Let me check. Okay, yeah, you can hear us. Can you hear Marley? Hello, everybody. Okay, cool. Everything's working. We're happy to be here. Happy Friday.
We have noodles.
We have noodles today.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, wow. We'll talk about that in a minute, though.
Yeah.
But we are streaming separately for the first time because last Friday, when we were together, our good old Premier of Ontario,
Mr. Douglas Ford,
Mr. Dude, tried to declare the province of Ontario a police state, where he wanted the police to be stopping people on the street if they don't live together because our numbers have been going up for COVID. So, like, definitely understand where the concern is coming from. But so Taylor and I were like, we don't want to get fined.
No.
$750 fine.
No, thank you.
So we decided to do this separately for today, even though the police were like, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like, different police services around Ontario were like, we're not actually going to be, like, stopping people on the street. That's too far. So, anyway, we're just doing this for fun because we were going to, and it might be a skill we need for the future.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really excited that this really pushed me to learn OBS because I've been meaning to do OBS for a long time. I've been wanting to stream video games and things, so this is great for me, and great for Vegan Yums.
Yeah. Can everyone hear us okay?
Please let us know.
Everything's working okay, let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
How's your day going, Taylor?
It is going
what do you do?
Quite well. Well, we had a workout this morning, as we do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday with our good friend RC Fitness over Zoom. So I had my workout.
It was a hard one.
It was really hard.
Yeah.
And
it was like cardio hard.
Yeah. And I didn't get a lot of sleep last night because I stayed up reading. And I felt so sick. Do you ever feel like that when you don't sleep enough before a workout? And I drank too much water, too, so it was just like, by the end of it, I was like, I had to lay down for a bit.
Because I filmed a scene last night that had a glass of wine in it. Suzanne was all working, thank you.
Great.
There was a glass of red wine in the scene that I was filming, and I hadn't drank since we were like, I don't remember how long ago, was that like a month ago that we were like...
Over a month, yeah.
About
4 weeks, yeah.
I had like maybe 5 ounces of red wine, dry red wine, and I did not feel good this morning.
Oh no.
But
we're weak.
We made it through. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what'd you do?
After that, I made a new scene for this concoction, which I'm really excited about. And what else did I do? I definitely did things. What did you do?
That's okay.
I forget what I did.
I edited the scene. So Toronto has this great thing called the monologue slam, but this month they were doing a scene slam. And basically, like, there are winners, but you don't win like a prize or anything. It's just a really good way to like build community with the actors in Canada, as well as like getting your face in front of like casting agents, other actors, etc. And Suzanne and I have been having a lot of fun in our acting class, so we just took this scene from the movie What Lies Beneath, which is like a thriller, a spooky thriller, and we filmed it in my bathroom because that's where it takes place in the movie, and we like lit candles and stuff, and I think we did a pretty good job of set design and lighting and whatnot.
That's great. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see it because I haven't spotted it yet, but you said it's on your Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So if people did want to check it out, you can go to Marley Cajun. Oh wait, no, you're private.
No, I'm not private.
You're not? Okay. You're okay with me plugging it, right? I guess I should have asked.
Yeah. They can
shouted it to the world. But you
Carrie says she likes your shirt color.
Thank you. I think we've settled on this color for our first season, I guess, our first launch. So we're going to have this. Hi Sam. Sam is here. My mom is here. Hi Mom. And from last week, Celamari, but that's not how you say it. Chelamari? Chelamari? Anyway, hello, you're here. We're happy to see you again. So we've decided we're going to start with burgundy, and there will be other colors released. Eventually, we're going to do them one at a time, just as we kind of figure things out. But expect it. I don't know if I can give a solid estimate of when they'll be available, but maybe in a month.
Within the next month.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Probably in May.
Yeah.
In May.
So we'll have this one, and we'll have a T-shirt as well. It won't be the same design. It's going to be a surprise. So
it's very
excited.
Cool. It's a very cool concept.
It's really fun. So, yeah.
So as we said, we are separate today because Ontario's COVID cases have been going up.
Mm-hmm.
But this is fun, and we have some ramen noodles this week. Taylor, tell us about yours.
Okay, so I talked about, if you watched our last video that came out on Wednesday, the reaction video to the Try Guys, drunk eating vegan fast food, or vegan hacked fast food. I told you at the very beginning of the video my favorite drunk food is ramen noodles with the Gardein chicken strips and all dressed chips stuck in them with Frank's Red Hot sauce. So that is exactly what I've prepared today. Isn't it beautiful?
Very nice.
Yes, but with one amendment. It's not the Mr. Noodles, it's the Soon Noodles. I'm going to grab the package quick so you can get a look at what it looks like. This is 100% vegan. It's by the same people who make that really popular one that's red.
Yeah. But it has vegan certified. It has the logo on it.
Yes. Nongshin.
Yeah.
And it's very good. They're very thick and chewy.
They make a lot, and it makes a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of noodles.
Yeah, it's great.
So I was debating this week. I have a little story time. So, our condo has a view of Queen Street, but it also has a view of the back of some storefronts. Mm-hmm. And one of the storefronts that backs onto it is a salon. And we started noticing, months ago, them building behind it this, what looked like a storage container, a shipping container, big shipping container, mm-hmm. Probably at least 16 feet. And we were maybe they're moving, I don't know, literally shipping something.
Yeah.
So it's been there forever. They painted it teal, and we're okay, I guess it's a permanent fixture. Mm. Then they built a patio on top of it. They put down floorboards. They
fairy lights.
They stained it. They put up a railing, and we were maybe they're just they don't have a patio, so they were let's put this shipping container here and build a patio on top of it. Mm-hmm. Still wrong. So then we saw this BlogTO article, and BlogTO, if you're not from Toronto, it's just kind of the source of all sort of non-serious news. Mm-hmm. In the city, and they were it's a noodle shop. It's a ramen noodle shop called Tong Main. So it's the guy who owns the salon wanted to open a noodle shop. So he built this little shack, and it's in an alley. So you can only you can't see it from the road. You have to just know about it. Uh-huh. Anyway, they're not vegan, but they have a vegan option. Mm. And I thought about getting it, but as Taylor knows, I do not spend money on takeout very often.
It's true.
And when I do, I want it to be a vegan business as much as I can control. Mm-hmm. So, long story short, I made the same noodles as Taylor, the spoon noodles, and then I put this kind of soy snack thing in it that looks really tasty. It looks kind of bean curd-like.
Yeah.
And then just some broccoli.
Is it pre-seasoned? The soy thing?
Yes. Yeah.
Yummy.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
Mmm.
Good?
Yeah.
Do Do you prefer...
It has a very different texture than I was expecting.
Ah, okay. What is it like? Is it like seitan?
Yeah, similar to seitan.
Love that.
But it is soy.
Do you like your noodles with less or more soup in it, like broth?
I typically have always made this one in the past with like because it calls for 2 cups of water, but I've always put in an extra cup of water because I do like broth. But this time I just made it as the package called for.
Right. I haven't looked at the directions, the cooking directions on a pack of noodles since I was like very young, so I didn't even realize that it called for a certain amount. No, yeah. But usually I make mine and then I pour out as much water as I can. I don't like the broth.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
I like it to be kind of like just like a noodle bowl. Just like, I don't know.
I didn't have any, and I didn't want to get any because we're moving later this week, so I'm trying not to buy a lot of groceries. I usually add kimchi too. I just like the extra heat that it adds.
Yeah. And it's like vinegary, so.
And good for your belly.
Yeah. I haven't had kimchi in a long time.
Yum.
So good.
Is anybody else eating right now? And if so, what are you eating?
Yeah, let us know what it is.
Yeah.
It's very good.
We had a bunch of audience cues from Instagram and such. I guess we can go to one of those.
Let's do it up.
Someone had asked, this is a very good question, what were go-to meals when we first went vegan?
If I'm honest, it's hard for me to remember. But I definitely wasn't very creative. I think I just... it's hard. I think I roasted vegetables and ate them with quinoa and lettuce. I think that was my go-to dinner. With hummus in it or something weird. Like some kind of dressing. I don't know. What about you?
I did a lot of just straight up meat alternatives.
Oh, right.
Swapping out chicken breast for sausage, vegan sausage. You know what I mean? Eating that sort of North American protein starch vegetable situation. Because it just felt manageable, and I think when you are transitioning to veganism, you should do what feels manageable.
100%. I definitely ate a lot of burgers. I would cook the burger patties and then cut them up and put them in my bowls. I made bowls, but I didn't know how to make bowls. Oh, yeah, that was classic. Yeah.
I used to buy a lot of what's the brand? We've had Soul's bean burger patties. I would just break those up and put franks on them with vegetables and rice.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple audience dinners that we have. Natalie is having a vegan sushi bowl with sweet potato, mushroom, and avocado. Natalie, do you have a vegan fish in there? And then our beloved Sam, whose beautiful hanger is in the background in Taylor's kitchen here, she made that. Stargaze.handmade is her handle on Insta. She makes all kinds of beautiful things like this.
I have to
and she just surprised us with this.
Look at...
She made this in a very short period of time.
While watching one of our videos. She was like, I'll make this. Huh? Look at this. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
I love the birch too. Very nice.
Yeah.
Back you go. So check her out. She makes really cool stuff.
Sam is having rice with tempeh, kale, and sweet potato with coconut nectar. This is very okay. It sounds yummy.
It does sound really good.
So sweet potato is a theme so far. Anybody else, if you're having sweet potato, let us know.
Let us know.
Okay, first major thing I wanted to talk about today. So we mentioned on our last stream that we have been reading Eating Animals by Jonatha Saffran, I believe is how his name is pronounced. And I don't know how it occurred to me, but for some reason I was reading the book and I was like, man, this is such a salient well-written exercise in confronting one's own cognitive dissonance. I was like, this is crazy. And for some reason I was like, is this guy vegan? And I was just like, I hope this guy is vegan. Like, wouldn't it be crazy if he wasn't vegan?
Yeah. Like, how can he not? He's talking about all the reasons you should be.
Yeah.
Like, all the ethical, yeah.
So I Googled it, and he's not vegan. I read a lot of interviews, and he does talk openly about it. Essentially, he finds it incredibly difficult to commit. And he did a documentary version of the book with Natalie Portman, who is a vegan. And there's an interview where they're both being interviewed, and the interviewer is asking him about like why he's not vegan, and Natalie is like kind of confused too, and she's like, yeah, I'm vegan, I'm kind of all or nothing. And Jonathan's like, yeah, it's just too hard, essentially. I'm paraphrasing, but I've just been baffled and confused because this book is philosophically just, I don't understand how you could have done this incredible detailed research on every facet of animal agriculture.
Yes.
From like he is already talking about the stuff that Seaspiracy is addressing. He understands how damaging like eggs and dairy are, even over meat.
Yep. And
I've just been baffled.
It's very confusing because he goes into like he talks about like Marley said, like every single aspect. Like he goes into like, I'm learning things that I've never heard of before, things like downers, which are animals that are like basically collapse in the factory farms and are just like left to, they're like gone and thrown away somewhere. They aren't even like euthanized. They are just like left to go pass away somewhere. But oftentimes these animals aren't ridiculously sick. They're just like dehydrated, or they need some nourishment of some sort, or they just need to rest and have like de-stress or something. And then they come back and like they bounce back really fast. So it's just like, I don't know. It's an amazing tool, but I am like you, Marley, completely shocked and baffled that this man is not vegan.
And I want to make it clear that, like, we have many friends who are making lifestyle changes but are not 100% committed to veganism.
Yeah.
And I'm not pointing at those people.
No.
Because they have not done the research he has done. He knows every fact. His eyes are open. And yet he just can't commit to it. I'm so interested. And so the way he describes it, this is the most recent quote I could find of him describing his diet. He says that he eats vegan for breakfast and lunch and vegetarian for dinner.
Oh.
So it doesn't sound like he eats meat very often, but yet there are quotes of him saying that he considers eggs and dairy to be worse for the environment and animal welfare than actually eating meat.
Okay.
And I'm not educated enough on the topic to corroborate that statement. But I did find I wanted to like find a couple of perspectives on it.
Right.
I found one Redditor who is as confused as I am. And then I found another article sort of talking about how we should be potentially looking at him through the lens of not someone who is in the animal rights movement. He is not part of the animal rights movement, but he is an outsider looking in or writing from within, and we should allow him to just have that perspective and yet like have a flawed response to it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm confused.
Yeah, I do I respect him for being honest about how he's living, because I think that it is like very relatable. There are people who find it, I think that Marley and I had it was pretty smooth sailing for us to become 100% vegan, but for a lot of people, and he talks about it in his book, have these very strong sentimental connections with their food that involves animal products. And I can 100% sympathize with those people who find it difficult to go to their grandmother's house and can't say no to her cooking because it's like it's such a significant part of their experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and I think it's really great because people putting yourself in the spotlight like that, and then I don't know, honesty, his bravery is really admirable, and I appreciate that about him. But it is confusing. It's like, but you know all the stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. What do you guys think? We would definitely love to hear your perspective on the circumstance. The book was written in 2019 also, right? I think
that one was 2009, and he has a newer book out as well. More so about climate change specifically.
I see.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
We have some more chat meals here. Ayla says, I'm making zucchini lasagna tonight with Gardein ground beef, marinara sauce, chow cheese slices, which I haven't tried, but I've heard really good things about chow.
I like them.
Yeah?
Like them a lot. Yeah.
And then plant-based mozzarella shreds. That sounds really good. Speaking of cheese, I don't know, Marley probably knows this, but maybe you don't. I'm not sure. Pretty funny.
I don't know. The book is called Eating Animals. It's very good. I would definitely recommend it.
Marley, we have all these cheese. We have all this cheese from Sam.
Yeah.
She gave us
I would like to
3.
eat them.
It's all in my. I'm saving you for sure. Like 2 mozzarella. You think it's fair? You get 2 mozzarellas. I get a mozzarella and then the shreds. Or do you want the shreds and mozzarella and I keep the 2? Because it's all mozzarella.
I don't know. I'll
it's
choose
just one
next
of them
week.
shredded.
I'll choose next week.
Okay. Anyway, so we have all this. This is also from Sam, who made us this beautiful work of art. Chilling in our freezer. Oh Jesus. Just felt like mentioning that. That's fine. Does anyone else have a very overcrowded freezer? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah, I used to make chow grilled cheeses all the time, and like chow breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Very yummy. You had just eggs this week.
I did. I got the folded ones that they sell in the freezer section because they don't sell the jars yet in a lot of places in Canada. But I got the Just Egg folded ones, and all you do is you wrap it in paper towel or like a towel, and you microwave it for a minute, and then you have like this beautiful egg boy. It was on sale at my Metro for $6, and you get 4 of them.
I haven't had the folded one yet. I obviously had. We've tried the bottled one together.
Yes. Has anyone else tried it? What are your opinions on it? What do you think?
Sam wants to know if you've tried the Chobani
oat I have.
yogurt.
It's so good. It's so good. Because sometimes I have the oat coffee creamer, but it's a little bit too sweet sometimes. Sometimes when I want to keep it chill, I'll use the vanilla Chobani. Does this show that knowledge isn't everything? Gradual culture change is where it's at. Unfortunate but true. Yes.
That's true.
I haven't heard of the book before, but that is interesting. I think I respect people more who at least educate themselves on non-animal. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for giving a shout out to the male vegans on TikTok. Love you guys.
My brand at this point, because Taylor has a boyfriend who's not vegan, so I have to do all of the like obsessed with male vegans TikTok.
Yeah.
And I just look like the most desperate person on the face of the earth. And I'm committed to it. It's my bit now. But I'm glad it's being well received.
Yeah.
Ooh, Ayla uses the bottles of Just Egg fried rice. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. I wonder if because if before when I was vegetarian, I would put egg in my noodles when I was cooking it, so it would like the water would boil it in with the noodles, and I wonder if the Just Egg little bottle thing would do the same thing.
Probably.
Yeah, because that stuff was good. Has anyone discovered a vegan creamer or half and half that froths up like normal creamer? I've never used normal creamer before, but the oat one is real good. If you get the ones that say that they're like for baristas, I think those are good. But I've been just like pouring it cold into a jar and then using my little whisker. What is it called? Whisker. Whisk. 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 you know what a little whisker looks like, I assume. Or if you don't, that's fine too. But I use it, and it froths up really, really good. Should I do an example? Because I have it.
Yeah.
And then I can just make like a decaf or something. We're doing a demo.
She's doing a demo.
In this wine glass.
Thank you, Tristan.
Okay, this is the oat.
The long dancer from Belgium.
Yes, hello. Okay, I'm gonna pour a little bit in. I'll have a decaf later. It'll be delicious.
Oh, and the long dancer asked if we can skate or longboard. I can't. Taylor, can you? Have you ever tried?
I cannot, but when I was in high school, I tried real hard in my backyard. But it didn't go well. And the skate park was kind of intimidating. It was all like, I grew up in a really small town, and the skate park was all like grown-ass men.
It was intimidating?
It was intimidating. I shouldn't say like grown-ass men, like that's probably where they should be skating, is at a skate park. Anyway, here it is. I'm doing this right over my laptop, so I hope it goes well.
Spinning, whisking,
We're whistling.
very nice, spinning, whisking.
I don't know if you can even tell. It's like very foamy at this point. Okay. I don't know how to like show that it's foamy. I guess you can kind of see. Maybe if I do this, and then you can kind of, oh my god, this is a disaster. But it's like foamy.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. It's like 50% foam now. Something like that. Anyway.
We have our boy Corey Birch in the chat.
Corey Birch!
Corey Birch.
Little Whisker is my cat's name.
As we were referring earlier to our Premier of Ontario, Doug Ford. For anyone who's not in Canada, Doug Ford is kind of like the off-brand Donald Trump. Like, he's definitely not as evil. But he's no good either. Anyway, Corey has an account called Good News Toronto, where he's made some pretty good content that can help teach you about Doug Ford and what we're dealing with here in Toronto. As we mentioned in previous live streams, our vaccine rollout has been pretty bad, so we're not vaccinated yet. But they're kind of hauling ass at this point to
and we don't have the good ones either, right?
Well, what does that mean though?
The Pfizer and the Moderna.
We
Those
do.
are like 9. Oh, we do? Okay, good.
Mm.
I need to pay more attention.
But they're more so for old people.
That makes sense. Those ones are so effective.
Corey Birch in the house. It is true. It is true. We love a Corey Birch.
We love it. Oh, I'll try it out. Can you show the box? Is that in regards to the oat? Yeah. I put it away.
Ayla, where are you based out of? Are you Canadian or?
It's Silk brand.
It's still Canadian or is it not?
I feel like it's, I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes.
If you're not from Canada, can you let us know if you recognize this product?
Yes. Oh, it's technically a coffee whitener.
Oh.
Certified vegan.
Ayla got her first dose of the vaccine.
Congrats! Which one did you get? If you mind sharing. I'd love to know. Yeah, I can't wait to get mine. Seriously. Oh well, just gotta wait.
Let's go to another audience too. Oh, Ayla's in Austin, Texas. Very fun.
Cool.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining.
Okay, so someone on Instagram brought something up to us. They said it was a meme that has been kind of going around that they've seen in various non-vegan circles, kind of criticizing veganism for being unethical in other ways. So unethical to humans, and suggested that we kind of address that, like what can we do about that, because that's certainly true that a vegan diet can or cannot be an ethical diet.
Yeah.
Aside from animal rights.
Yeah,
so,
certainly.
And even inside of animal rights, like things like palm oil, like destroying habitats, and monkeys picking coconuts and things like that.
Yes, yeah. If you watch the documentary Rotten on Netflix, they talk about food ethics and things like that. Like avocados have become, because they're so in demand in Mexico, they've kind of become a cartel business. So that's interesting. So check out Rotten if you would like to learn more about that. But in regards to like how vegans can do better to ensure that they aren't supporting these unethical practices in the food industry, I think shop as locally as you can, seasonal foods, try to avoid tropical foods as best you can, and in instances where you can't, like if you need coconut oil for something, make sure you're getting it from a reputable brand. Do some research. I
think the key is like knowledge, and obviously when you can't do all of that research at once, or most of us can't at least. So I think just over time, making sure that like you don't sort of stop looking into things as a vegan, that you continue to question where things are coming from and what practices are used.
100%.
Ayla says, a big argument I hear is because of almonds and how much water they use up, but you can be vegan and not consume almonds. Yeah, totally. And yeah, like for us, Taylor and I, we don't, that's a practice we actively engage in is not buying almond milk or almonds. Really?
And try to avoid avocados as well, like anything that isn't local or seasonal, but as best we can. Like we aren't perfect, and sometimes we do stuff, but
Natalie says to avoid avocados. We do avoid them just for the ethical reasons that Taylor said, also like the shipping. It depends on where you are, of course.
100%. But because we live in Canada, it's like it makes sense to. We do still eat them occasionally, like if we need one for a video, like I'll get avocados, or if I'm like at Sushi, I get it like an avocado roll. Which maybe is me being a hypocrite. Maybe this is something I need to examine. Anyway.
Well, that's sort of.
Or is that too extreme?
Sort of makes us relate to Jonathan Saffran a little bit.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%.
And on the topic of people that we've been questioning this week, so some of you may remember that we shot a video reacting to John Joseph's Iron Man diet. That it's a video with Vice's Munchies channel. And John Joseph, if you didn't watch the video or you're unaware, he is most famous for being lead singer of the punk band Cro-Mags, but he also is like he's done many Ironman competitions, and he is a vocal vegan. He's straight edge. He's lived a whole life. He's been in jail. He's been shot. He he does all kinds of things. But anyway, like that video that we shot was the first time we'd ever engaged with him or any of his content, and we thought he was super funny, and like we were really hyping him up. But the days have gone by. We've been following him on Instagram, and we've just been seeing a few problematic things. We've seen some like anti-vax, like anti-mask type of content, and then we actually followed him the other day because he posted something basically making fun of the use of pronouns.
It was. I can kind of describe. No, it was. It was a girl who shared her pronouns, and then her cat like slapped her on the face, and then he was like, "Good job, kitty." No one gives a fuck. I don't know if I can swear on this platform, but it's fine. I just did.
So
it's just like it just made me cringe and made me not like him at all. So
I think pronouns and putting our pronouns in our bios and stuff is kind of the bare minimum we can do to make the world, we, meaning cisgendered people, can kind of do to make the world a more comfortable and accepting place for non-binary, trans people, genderqueer people, etc. So we're just kind of like, but his Instagram is an interesting place because I'm gonna like he has kind of energy of like your kind of like wacky uncle who like is maybe a QAnon supporter, but you're not really sure, and like there's this like type of meme aesthetic that they share, like this type of infographic aesthetic that just like makes everything seem crazy. So even though John Joseph is sharing something about like packaged foods being like, if you eat 100% packaged foods, like that's not healthy, like him saying something like that, and I'm like, sure, but it just like the aesthetic makes it look crazier than it actually is.
It's like Joker brain, if anyone is familiar with the concept. It's like John Joseph has Joker brain. It's all
but
like.
He also shares stuff like reminding you to like critically think, but it like it's like the tone of it isn't like an academic, like you should critically think, but it's sort of like a like critically think. There's no microchip, like that's the energy.
Right. It's like edgy, super dramatic.
Yeah. So I'm suspect now, and also the organic only.
Yeah.
Food thing.
Yeah, he's only eats organic food. Which if you can afford it, like do what you want to do, but like we aren't huge advocates of organic produce. We don't really think that it makes a huge difference whether you buy organic or non-organic. I don't know. I know Sam works in a health food store. I'd love to hear her thoughts.
I mean, my roommate Suzanne can talk about the organic thing all day. Basically, like it's largely a marketing
tactic
ploy, and like a quick Google search will provide some pretty trustworthy articles.
Right.
It's basically a class issue of implying that like you can only be healthy if you buy organic food, and most people can't afford to do that. No. So
definitely not.
Emily brings up a good point. She said also the welfare of employees in the meat industry is something we often leave out of the vegan combo.
So true, and that has become so not like so. The population has become more aware of it at this point as well because of the virus that's being spread massively in these plants where people aren't allowed to take sick days because they'll get fired or be penalized in some capacity, and they're all living together in close quarters, and it's not a fun time.
Totally.
Obviously. It's inhumane. So Sam says honestly shrug.
What's your favorite, our good friend Phoebe, who we plug every week, who we will be watching
We watch her every Friday. Find her on Twitch.
We are creatures of habit. Even though we are not together tonight, we will be watching together.
We will be watching Phoebe. We'll be in the chat. My name is Tough Guy on Twitch, so hang out, chat with us, listen to her songs. It's great. But she asked a question.
Yeah, so she asked a question, and it was, what's your favorite ice cream? Flavor, I guess. What's your favorite ice cream? I have an immediate response.
Do you have a specific brand that you like?
Yeah.
Or I think if go ahead.
I was gonna tell you. It's the So Delicious salted caramel.
Oh.
It's hands down the best like packaged oatmeal. Ice cream. It's the best. Definitively.
Oh.
Fight me.
No, thank you.
Fight me.
Marley, you're so aggressive today.
Have you ever seen that TikTok? It's just like the little voice, and it's like, I said, do you want to fight me? Do you want to kiss your hands? I do that to Piper all the time. I do that when she's trying to attack me.
That's adorable. I don't think I have a favorite brand because I don't buy ice cream very often. That's like the one thing in the grocery store that I can prevent myself from buying, and I'm not really sure why. Probably because I don't like sweet things. But if I am close to the chip aisle, I buy all dressed chips every time. So it's a spectrum, I guess. I don't know. But if I were to buy ice cream flavor-wise, I would probably do some kind of cookie dough or mint chocolate. Those are my faves. But I'll have to try that out. What's that?
Cookie dough is pretty elite.
S tier flavor.
We have a lot of opinions in the chat.
Oh.
We have a lot of opinions. So in terms of ice cream, Ayla agrees with me. And Sam says that the cinnamon cookie dough, it is really good. I also like their peanut butter and jelly flavor.
That sounds really good. I'll have to try that one.
Yeah. A couple thoughts on the organic. Ayla says a good rule is if you're going to eat the outside of the produce, then buy organic. But if you're going to just eat the inside like a banana, then normal is fine.
Okay.
And then Sam says a lot of stuff that isn't certified organic also may not have been sprayed with anything, but can't be labeled as organic because of the soil. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
This is the problem with like certifications in general, like as we've seen with
with the Seaspiracy
and like just coming from like wine knowledge of like there are like the majority of a lot of New World wines are vegan, but they don't want to pay for the certification.
Yes.
Which is fair.
Yes.
Tristan asked if we've had Copper Branch before. I've not. We do have them in Toronto.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I have not had it.
Yeah, it looks like they have good options. I think it's something about their branding that makes me feel it's sort of similar to like a Second Cup vibe.
Oh, I was gonna say Coopfort and Kim.
Sorry?
Coopfort and Kim.
Coopfort and Kim? Yeah.
What is that? It does look good.
I will try it though, Tristan. What's your favorite thing?
Yeah, let us know, and we'll order it.
Hit us up. Let us know. Let's go to some YouTube news.
News.
Straight from veganism for a second. Taylor, do you want to talk about James Charles being demonetized?
Yeah. So, if anyone does not know this at this point, James Charles has had a lot of minors come out and accuse him of messaging them on Snapchat and sending them lewd photos of himself and pressuring them to send him photos. Just like very inappropriate behavior for a person with a celebrity with a large platform. There's a huge power dynamic there, and it's like they're under 18. What are you doing? Like, that's illegal. So anyway, so he has come out and apologized publicly, being basically being like, yes, I did this, but I'm desperate, which is a sad excuse in my opinion. And in many other people's opinions. But recently, Morphe, which is the brand that he collaborates with the most, and that's his like iconic discount code, is use code James for 10% off. It's basically his catchphrase, but they have stopped working with him because of these allegations, as well as YouTube has demonetized him. So
yeah, there was a quote I liked. So YouTube creator liaison said that with great popularity comes great responsibility. In response to that.
Yeah.
Which I think is great. I read this article, this New York Times article, that they basically kind of question what it'll do, because he earns a lot of he earns huge amounts of money on TikTok as well, and Instagram. And like, if he intends to take a break from YouTube anyway, like, will they just reinstate him after a little while?
Yeah. And on
TikTok, it
TikTok,
certainly sends a message.
Yeah. It does. It really does, because he's one of their largest creators. TikTok, from what I've got the impression of, is that they really stand behind him on these issues, because he hasn't, I think, received any sort of reprimanding or anything from TikTok, and people who make videos about James Charles get them removed from TikTok.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it is very interesting, and he is close with Charli D'Amelio, who is one of the most popular, probably the most popular TikToker. So I don't know. It's all strange and very, very interesting.
Tristan says, from the Copper Branch, the Aztec Bowl.
Ooh.
It's his favorite, but their deluxe burger is also very yummy.
Ooh, burger sounds nice.
Mhm. I want a burger, but I did enjoy my ramen, and I have some more left. Yeah. Speaking of burgers, Globally Local has gone public.
They have.
So Globally Local, maybe Taylor, you'll be able to pull up their website, because I know a lot of people won't know, the non-Canadians won't know them. But Globally Local is a fast food chain, a vegan fast food chain that was started in London, Ontario, and they have a few locations throughout Toronto. They have a couple in Toronto, and it's so good. They have a vegan Big Mac. They have everything. Like, they have vegan shawarma, vegan, like, chicken tendies. They have breakfast sandwiches. So basically, they take all of these popular items from, like, quintessential non-vegan fast foods and make them vegan. And it's like, I didn't think that they were Canadian at first, just because, like, it's so good, but I thought surely they'd come from somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm pulling up the menu right now. Whoa, my gosh. Famous Burger. And you can tell, like, these are obviously the knockoffs of the iconic menu items. Famous Burger, Whopper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the
burgers.
God,
it's so good.
They have breakfast. And they're going public. They have two locations in Toronto right now. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So three locations in Toronto right now. But I don't know if you said this, I was distracted, but by 2021, they want to have 22 locations all across North America. I think you did say that. And also, for anyone who's into stocks right now, they are being publicly traded, and the stock prices are like $1. So I got a couple myself, because I feel like vegan fast food is going to be pretty popular.
Yeah, they want to expand to, like, hundreds of locations. They want to, like, infiltrate the fast food scene.
I love to see it. And apparently their kitchens are supposed to be very efficient. So, look at these fries. Oh, mac and cheese. Oh my God, Marley, look at the mac and cheese. I didn't know they had mac and cheese.
There's a lag, so I can't see it yet. But
that's all right. I don't know
it all looks so good, though.
I know, all of it looks amazing. But they say that they have shakes too. Oh, I haven't had a shake in so long.
Yeah, I've had the shakes. They're really good.
Really? We'll have to go. Oh, s'mores cookie, yum. We're just drooling. We just ate and we're just drooling over more food. But their kitchens are supposed to be super efficient. And that will make their food preparation cheaper and faster than the competition, they claim. So hopefully that's true. But, like, this looks bomb as heck. And you wouldn't be able to tell it apart from the fast food that you see in the market right now that's has meat in it.
The Big Mac is so good.
Oof.
Tristan asked, is James Charles vegan? No, we just went rogue for a minute.
Yeah, we just went rogue.
Non-vegan news.
Yeah.
Sam says the Global Local gyro, I forget how to say that with the proper accent, is delicious. I really want to try that. And the Greek fries. Yum. And yes, lots of cancellations on YouTube this year. I think that article was also saying that, who else got demonetized? David Dobrik and...
Oh, David Dobrik.
One of the Pauls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this article, let me look at it.
I hear Shane Dawson is returning soon. I've heard.
I'm gonna be honest that I don't know who any of these people actually are, but
That's okay.
Like, I have a very specific genre of YouTube that I watch.
I just watch all of it.
I just like to watch young women talk about their lives. That's my genre. I just like vloggers. I like Sarah's Day. I don't know if anyone else knows who Sarah's Day is. She's my favorite. And Jacqueline Forbes. Yeah. Okay, here's one of my favorite stories that I read this week. Is this Michelin star chef in London, England, who is vegan, made his whole restaurant vegan, and people were mad about it, but he did it anyway. He was like, I can't I can't be profiting off of animal products. I just can't do it anymore. And I thought that was really cool. And it makes me think of Planta, who I worked for. And I really love Planta, if anyone knows Planta. And they are expanding into the States now. They have a location in Miami, and they're going to open one in New York as well. And that's an interesting thing, because with Planta, so they started as Chase Fish and Oyster, which is a sort of upscale seafood restaurant in Toronto. And they opened a couple more. They have this like really fancy like Japanese and Japanese kind of club restaurant in Yorkville called Kaimoto. I can't remember right now. Anyway, so the CEO, after a while, after opening those, went vegan himself. And so that's when he opened Planta. And he has even transitioned one of the Chase restaurants into a new Planta. So he was like, I don't want to have 2 fish restaurants anymore, so I'm going to make this another plant-based. And I think that's interesting. Like, as a vegan, to kind of still own a non-vegan restaurant. And even in like the company culture, when they train you and stuff, like they teach you about how like even at their non-vegan locations, a quarter or a third of the menu has to be vegan because of the standard they're holding themselves to in terms of the environment.
Right.
So
I love that.
I wonder if we'll see them go completely vegan.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. Yeah, this is Alexis Gauthier is this chef. Turns London restaurant into 100% vegan despite pushback from customers. I love it. But he switched it up. I think this is his food here. Beautiful food.
Tristan says he hopes that he is able to maintain his Michelin star.
Yes. Yeah.
That would show him. That would really show him.
Yeah. And he says in this article, they quote him, and he says, I'm aware that I'd have hang on, let me... talking about the pushback from the customers. It's been a big problem. I was aware I'd have a fight on my hands. I understand people feel let down, but trust me, we're cooking as good as that. Some people are up for it, some people aren't, and that's true. He has my respect. I'd love to go.
Is he not the head chef? How is he vegan but does not taste the food? That's a cue for sure. We have a good friend who is a chef and went vegan while working at a non-vegan restaurant. And he's an animal rights activist, and he has since quit just for a variety of reasons, including not wanting to work at a non-vegan restaurant anymore. But he was vegan but still had to taste like sauces and things that weren't vegan. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about what this particular chef has had to do, or if like he's trusted like his sous chef or someone to tell him how things were.
Yeah. That would be interesting to hear about how someone would handle that.
Yeah. We're coming to our last 10 minutes, guys. So if you have any questions, definitely put them in the chat.
Great.
Yeah, another topic this week was cell-grown meat. I know we talked about it in previous episodes or previous live streams before, and debating whether or not it is vegan. And so I read a Live Kindly article, and basically they said it's not vegan because it is meat still.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I think and because it does require like a donor source from an animal originally, so I think it's not vegan, but it is a moral choice that could really improve our world and like welfare for animals.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I'm
not sure if they have to like how many times they have to have a donor, or if they can like source from existing cells.
Yeah, because they say it has typically the most common use. Most common source of cells are from the fetus of an animal. And so that is doesn't sound very cruelty-free. So, but the people who make Just Egg have another company called Good Meat, I think. And they say that their practices are 100% ethical. So they don't use the fetus method. They use, I think they said swabs from things like feathers and from tissue. So I don't know what the swab. It sounds docile, but I'm not going to take it at face value. It could be like maybe it's like an internal. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but they say that they do it ethically, and they have launched cell-grown meat in Singapore.
Very cool.
I think I don't know if it's currently right now or if they're planning on doing it, but they're saying that it should be available like within this year, like on the market. I don't know if that's just in Singapore or if that includes North America or not, but I know my boyfriend is omnivore, and he says that he would like choose lab-grown meat over like slaughtered meat. I don't know what we would call it. Standard meat instead. So yeah, I think that's really, really interesting. Technology, science.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah.
And the marketing for it and things. Because, I mean, it's going to be a lot of changing people's minds. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever seen this clip, but there's this, like, clip of this, like, evangelical, like, minister talking about, I don't know exactly what he's talking about. I don't know the context, but it sounds like he's talking about, like, sell meat. And he calls vegans Luciferians. He's like, they're trying to make a race of soulless beings. They're trying to play God.
Because he thinks that the vegans are making the lab-grown meat?
Yeah. So I think it'll be interesting to, like, change people's minds. Because I think when a lot of people hear the lab meat, they're like, ew, yuck. But then you're like,
yes.
What do you mean? Like, compared to the alternative?
Yeah, right? Like, animals are already genetically modified so much. Like, what are you talking about? I mean, I guess I can understand where they're coming from. It sounds really sus if you don't have a familiarity with the subject. It can be very scary.
Yeah.
So I can totally understand why people would feel that way.
I think the marketing will be interesting to try and make it seem like not cold and clinical.
Yeah, and it when I was reading this article, I have it up on my screen over here, but I'm hesitant to bring it up just because there is like photos of raw meat, and I don't think that that's very fun. So I'm just gonna like leave it out. But everything we talked about today, all the links we'll include in the description down below if you guys want to check it out for yourselves. We'll be doing that after the live stream. But anyway, so when I was reading this article, it made me think of in Eating Animals, Jonathan says it's harder to be a selective omnivore than to just be like a vegan or vegetarian, because
where do you draw the line?
Yes, and some people say like the cultural of like the social aspect of sharing food with everybody, you're disrupting it if you're vegan, because you're damaging your relationships, the social structure of whatever ritual this is that we have as humans, because you're like making it awkward. And he has a quote, I'm going to pull it up real quick. He said, if I can find it right away. How much do I value a socially comfortable situation, and how much do I value acting socially responsible, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to say that being a selective omnivore, only eating ethically sourced meat, is worse for the whole table fellowship concept, because like I guess at this point being a vegetarian vegan is pretty accepted. You just say, oh, I just don't eat that. But if you're like, I'm a selective omnivore, then you have to like send them links to like where can you get it ethically, and then people talk. And
yeah.
You know, so this made me think of it where it's like, well, what's the difference? And I also wonder if selective omnivores would find it difficult to turn down, or would be more subject to accepting factory farmed meat, whereas or being more flexible in that aspect. I don't know any selective omnivores, but yeah, would be more flexible in their ethics than like a vegan or vegetarian would be. Just made me think of that. That was interesting.
Yeah, so both Tristan and the long dancer are saying, they can't imagine themselves eating the lab-grown meat. I can't either. Especially after reading that article and like being reminded of like bovine fluid from the like fetuses. I'm like, I don't want to eat that.
Yeah.
I don't want to. And I think that it's different. Like, food can look appealing. Like, you know, if it's like done up nice and breaded and like in a taco, but like I'll always remember that it's just like flesh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's
not for me.
Yeah, it's yeah.
But it's gonna be great for a lot of people that don't think like that.
Definitely. I definitely feel like it's just it's hard for me to say because I'm already vegan, but I feel like it's just easier to be vegan or vegetarian. But I guess like people are different, you know, like we said a few times, and it's really hard for some people to go vegan. So this is a better alternative than buying it from an animal that lived half of its life in a sad place.
I think that
we're wrapping it up.
Ooh, that's that for today. Guys, thank you so much for coming this week. And if you've come for multiple weeks, we really appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
As we mentioned at the beginning, we are going to like launch these sweaters at some point in the next month or so, probably May. And I definitely want to do a giveaway, potentially on one of these live streams. So definitely keep tuning in.
Yeah.
We'll mail you one.
We will.
We'll
send it your way. Great.
Yeah. Yay.
Great. Okay, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I feel like this was a success. I was a little nervous that the remote OBS thing would somehow malfunction, like you wouldn't be able to hear us. It's new for me, so I'm excited that it worked.
And we will be here again next week, very potentially back together again in person. I'm moving next week, so it might be a little chaotic. We'll see what happens, but you'll see us somehow.
Yes.
Either way.
Yeah. All right. Follow us on Instagram if you don't already. Check out our Coffee or Patreon if you feel so inclined. We would really appreciate that. And
it's gonna be hard
as always.
Okay.
Vegan.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Vegan.
Yum. Vegan yum.
Vegan yums. Okay, we hope you're singing along at home, friends.